Greetings, my fellow scholars of the livestream. I'm Izuasad from the Cosmo Canyon Observatory, and today we're performing a rough analysis on the first half of the latest batch of screenshots released in March 2020. I'd also like to mention that we started posting interesting bits of Final Fantasy VII, original and remake, on our Twitter feed and YouTube community section to keep the hype flowing between uploads. As always, there might be a few spoilers here and there, depending on what you consider as such, so be warned. Now, if you happen to like what you're about to see and learn, don't forget to do the usual YouTube button mashing or even consider supporting us by tossing us some gil. Links down below. Alright, let's start off with Thung. In the blog post it says, "This is Thung, the leader of the Turks. The Turks are a small, elite organization with Shinra that does everything the company needs it to do, be it scouting out candidates for soldier, protecting VIPs, or even assassinations. Their cool-headed leader has a knack for managing his eccentric subordinates. He's an old acquaintance of Aerith and has been keeping watch over her since she moved to the slums. And speaking of Aerith, in this scene here, he's about to pick her up from 7th Heaven in Sector 7 slums. Because this happens right after this scene here from the TGS 2019 trailer. And is it just me, or does he look a little bit older here? Maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just a slight redesign, or it's just the lighting. Anyway, here in the back, we see the bottom of the canopy in front of 7th Heaven entrance, struts, and some lights in the back. It's about everything we can see. At least it's much more than here. Now, along with the screenshot, there is also a rendering of him, a full body render. Let's have a quick look at it. Looks pretty neat, with open hair, sort of close to the original. And this one is Crisis Core version, which is a 5-year younger song. I think he has it strapped into a ponytail and doesn't have this long of a hairdo yet. But yeah, looks pretty professional. Next one is a sleazy scumbag Don Corneo. I've been covering him from head to toe already, so let's just focus on the backdrop here. First thing I noticed here is the lever. At least I think it's the lever. I'm pretty sure it's the lever which he uses to drop our characters down into the sewers, as seen here. And back there we can see this dragon statue, which can also be seen here in the original right behind his bed. So I'm pretty sure this is also the bedroom, or at least the bed part of his room. We see the flowers, the lotuses on the ceiling, those dividers on the side, which could also be seen here in the TGS 2019 trailer. Also interesting, this flame-like part of whatever statue, or maybe it's the tail of the dragon statue. We can see parts of it here too. But that's about all I can say about the screenshot here, as we already know about the rest anyway. So let's move on. This is just a screenshot from the theme song trailer, so I won't go into it. However, they also released a full body render of Andrea Rodea. I have no idea how to pronounce that. We'll see in the full game, I guess. It's almost the same posture here, but at least we see the whole body here. But before we move on to the next one, let me read the blog post entry for Andrea Rodea. The owner of and dancer at the Honeybee Inn is a man of influence within the quarter, with the authority to approve women for Corneo's auditions. Each night he dazzles his crowd with performances that defy description, always seeking perfection. He rigorously trains both his mind and body. So our predictions of him being the owner of the Honeybee Inn has been correct. Up next is Leslie Kyle. Don Corneo's lackey may look young, but he has the heart of an old curmudgeon. His dead-eyed stare and general apathy have earned him pride and place among Don's men. Now, when looking at his mug and the whole body render, I can't help but feel that he's sort of a mixture between Noctis and Cindy from Final Fantasy XV. Quite curious. Anyway, you all might think that he's a completely new addition to Final Fantasy VII. However, there's a novel written by Kazushige Nojima, the scenario writer for Final Fantasy VII and the remake, which is called Final Fantasy VII: A Turks Side Story, The Kids Are Alright. So I haven't read it yet, but it apparently takes place roughly 2 years after the main game, shortly before Advent Children takes place, and he's a former lackey of Don Corneo in there, helping out the protagonist Evan Townsend with investigations, since the latter one is a detective. That's about all I know, so it's nice to see that they draw from other works as well. Tetsuya Nomura-san has already mentioned this in previous interviews, So this might not be the only novel that they draw inspiration from and draw characters from. Now, where's he standing? It's pretty clear. Right in front of Don Corneo's mansion. Right here. However, what's curious is that there's no pillar here, nor are those two black stripes. Still, the window over here and the door on this side look exactly the same. So either it's a redesign or there's a house to the side which has the exact same entrance. We'll see. And here we are, Madame M. I'm pretty sure this is a completely new character, and she might be brothel mama or something like that from the Honeybee Inn, or she has her own establishment. In the blog post it says Madame M is the proprietress of a hand massage parlor in Wall Market. Like Andrea, she has a great deal of influence within the quarter that includes the authority to approve women for Corneo's auditions. Be warned that she's a prideful sort, and only as courteous as her customers are deep-pocketed. So yeah, hand massages, eh? I wonder which piece of the outfit for Cloud we have to get from her. Or is she part of Aerith's outfit questline? We'll see. We also got a full body render of her, and her kimono looks just phenomenal. Kind of like a geisha, in a sense. And here we go. A character we've seen before. For those who have watched our Wall Market analysis, he's the one that's also sitting in the back of the Honeybee Inn, but at that point we didn't know who he was. Until an eagle-eyed scholar mentioned it looks exactly like the carriage driver driving Tifa into Wall Market. Now, the blog post says the following about him. A chocobo handler in Wall Market. Chocobo Sam is another prominent figure with the authority to approve women for Corneo's auditions. He runs a delivery service called Sam's Delivery. He also happens to be an avid gambler, though he's hooked more on the rush than any money he may win. Now this screams for a minigame about gambling. If we win, we get a better piece for the outfit. If we lose, just a crappy version. That's my guess anyway. Like all the others, we also got a full body render of him. Looks pretty nice. A full Western style clothing. However, his beard kinda looks like tacked on, I don't know. Looks sort of weird. Now behind his head here we can see some sort of chocobo logo or emblem that describes his business. And I'm not sure what those are those rations for chocobos? Look to be a bit too tiny. Now my question is, can we eventually ride or even breed chocobos? Does he provide a fast travel system through the slums? I guess we'll have to wait with those answers until April 10th. Now follow a few screenshots with Barret. This first one here is an updated version of the State of Play scene, and it looks way more vibrant and more detailed. The motion blur on the train back there is also a little bit better than this one here. All the other details seem to have been kept intact, but what did change is the name for Overcharge, which has been named Backblast in the past. A blast from the past, eh? Even Cloud is also blocking here in this scene, which is interesting. But one of those drones has already been eliminated. Next one is just a screenshot of the sweeper fight. We don't really need to get into this here, neither in the next one, because this is also an area we have seen before many times. Like here in the State of Play trailer, this is the very same fight, very same corner. Also the Carbuncle DLC showcase has also been taking place here. But what is new here is his Lifesaver Ability. The fourth screenshot shows us how it looks like when it's activated. And once it is, there's this new red flash above the HP, which means it's activated. Once it is, each time a character gets hit or takes HP damage, a portion of it gets siphoned off of Barret's HP to heal him, which we can see in action here. This green, probably representing a live stream, this green circle appearing on top of the red flash. With each of Barret's ability to be revealed, he looks to be more and more of a tank, which I very much like. He gets his own personality even in battle. The original, besides the limit breaks and the weapons, maybe long short range, characters were practically blank slates, which isn't the case anymore here. And here we are, the enemy skill Materia. Some thought it wouldn't make it, but I had always faith, and here it is. It gives you a chance to learn certain enemy techniques that you've endured and use them as abilities. These abilities can only be used when the Materia is set to your equipment, which makes sense, just like in the original. Now, if we check the whole screen here, we notice a few differences. First up is the whole character selection. Before it was just L2 and R2 to switch between, because it also showed the weapons and materia. Now, the weapons aren't there anymore. And it looks like, since it's grayed out here, or half transparent, translucent, you first have to select a character, and then probably select or choose between materia or equipment. If we select materia, this one here appears. That's why it's half transparent, not active. If we choose equipment, this other part will appear with the whole equipment UI. What's also new is that Aerith is in here. Now, before I get into this, have you looked at the background here? It's pretty evident that we're here on an overlook over the collapsed Sector 7 plate or slums. This here. This part here looks exactly like a part we see here. And this walkway with the railing must be this one, where we see the trio escape or run away from Heligunner. Now, the distance from the platform they're standing on here is quite larger or longer than we see here. As you see, this is the upper part or left, this is the right lower part of the walkway. And they're already here up there, so that needs to be another platform further up we don't see from this perspective. I'm pretty sure it's from where we get up to this platform. If you look closely, you see Cloud's arm here with his angle, whatever that is, the edge of his sword. And this is probably Barret's gun arm. Or normal arm, sorry. The gun arm would be on the other side, like this here. Now, with this in mind, this is where they go and grab or rescue Aerith, which is why she's not in the team, hence this out-of-team icon. In the original, you couldn't access any of the characters that weren't in the team, but here it seems you can. So as soon as Aerith joins Cloud in the church in Sector 5, she will permanently be a part of this menu. I like this specifically because if a character leaves the group, you can still take away their equipment and materia without the game having to do this for you. This gives agency to the player, which I quite much like. And it will probably also allow you to check Aerith's stats and abilities. This means you will keep an eye on the whole team the whole game through. What's also new is here the swap materia command. In an earlier version, it wasn't there at all. You might remember that in the original there was the arrange option, where you could also swap materia either individually on a weapons basis or an equipment basis or on a character basis. Completely swap out everything. And now they brought this one back. It's pretty cool. Now in this previous part or previous shot here, we're in the tunnels to reactor number 5. And it looks like we have the iron bangle equipped on Cloud, which has only one materia slot. And here with 3 single ones. The original doesn't have any equipment or any armor with 3 individual slots. So this is either a completely new one, like the weapons for Tifa and Barret in this scene here. You can barely see it, but this one's a new gun and this one's a new glove with some feathers attached. Either it's a new one, or it's a Titan bangle, which has 2 single ones and upgraded to have a 3rd slot. If it's even possible to upgrade armors as well. Would be cool, but don't keep your hopes up. The other changes are very minor. For example, the edges are a little bit bluer, text and icons are bigger. They changed the order to attack, magic, defense, magic defense instead of the physical first and the magical second. Now it's attack first and defense second. Some other shifting around with numbers, and you can also see the name has changed to materia and equipment instead of equipment and materia. I wonder why. Maybe because materia is more prominent in the remake and has more weight? Or because it sounds better? Materia and equipment and materia. I kind of like this version better because it flows better and it's alphabetically ordered, but in the end, I don't think it matters. What I do think matters is the lack of a list of learned enemy skills. Either they will appear here, as it's still completely empty, or we can only see them in the party menu. You can press triangle there and see all the abilities and spells you have equipped and can use in battle. I'm wondering where this list has gone to. One last point. Time here is now not white, but grayed out for whatever reason. Maybe it's flashing or maybe to differentiate it from the Guild. And here we see they're almost 40 minutes in. And this is only the Clive to Shinra HQ, so either this is a accurate representation when just going through the story and not doing any side stuff, or just a few of them. And since they're able to change values at will and jump into the game at any point through a debug menu. I won't give too much weight on this, but still, it's nice to see that it does at least take 40 minutes to get here, or around 40 minutes to get here. What am I saying? Hours, not minutes. Stupid. Silly me. Anyway, moving on. Now it gets interesting. We haven't seen much of Wall Market in the theme song trailer. I try to break it down as much as possible, but here, with those few more shots, we get to see much more. Here, this is the street where Cloud walks along. You can see here the Chocobo Pop Beans stall with the big guy eating popcorn to the side. And here, I think this is Cloud. Yeah, we can even see Cloud here before his transformation. What we can also see is the entrance to the gym with the Otoko or man kanji 3 times, just like in the original. The name of the place, Wall Market, on this broadcast pole or whatever that is. You can already see the windmill part, some sort of bomb, maybe from the Wutai War, a relic. This is the name of the Honeybee Inn, as seen here. They're the same kanjis. And the honeycombs give it away anyway. You can also see a few new ads. This one saying Midgar Breeze in katakana. Maybe it's a fashion label of sorts. And here on the side we can even see the entrance to the tailor, the clothes shop, where Cloud gets his dress from. And in the back, Don Corneo's mansion can already be seen. And the Yoidore sign is also there with the 3 dotted circles. That's about it for this one, because the next one has much more details to show. First, there are the same ads again as before. Same kanji, so this is a similar place. Now we see the broadcasting pole or tower in full glory. Some satellite dishes here and there. More neon lights we'll see in another screenshot too. Here's the gym again, and also an ad for the gym itself with the strongman. This part here is a side street we can also see back here when Cloud is walking past the Chocobo Pop Bean stall. It's the very same red tarp here. But the items hut is still out of view. It's probably just behind us here. Now, when looking through the NPCs, we can see a few familiar faces. First up is here the woman in the white-blue dress, which we've seen 3 times already in a theme song trailer. And on the right here, this guy with the sunglasses can also be seen in the gym here. This one. And here to the left, a woman that has a similar dress than the one with the blue and white one. It's just complete white. Has a brother, husband, boyfriend, whatever, who has the same outfit as many others we've already seen in the train here. For example, this guy. Maybe it's even exactly this guy. And here's another one. And we have 2 others not visible in this frame right now. Might be a sort of uniform for certain Shinra workers. Who knows? Another interesting part is this potion, whatever it says here. At least it serves cold drinks. They certainly do look like potions in all those vibrant colors. It's currently open, of course, and it also has speakers on there. But this is something for later, as they might have their own function in here, not just for decoration. And like many shots of Wall Market, we can see the center pillar in its full glory here and the bottom of the plates. This is something I'm really looking forward to, because in the original we always had just a top-down view on Cloud and the rest. But here we have so many different perspectives, especially the ones upstairs. Now this screenshot depicts the main road to Don Corneo's house, which is the one we see here or here. And it starts around in this place right in front of the gym, because the gym is on the right, as we see with the struts, this here. Now here we have another guy with the same outfit, Shinra outfit, whatever. Here's other guy with the sunglasses, which doesn't have sunglasses on here, like he has here. It's either a clone, or he walked over there and took off the glasses for whatever reason. Those 2 guys on the right, we have already seen in the theme song trailer, but only in the Japanese version. Over here, just next to the Yoidore bar. Remember those kanjis that we defined as being the same one near the machine gun or the weapons shop in Wall Market? And Mach and GU could be seen here. Well, it's the exact same here, just a little bit of a different angle, which is nice. And look at all those gun and rocket barrels. Here's probably this flight defense unit with 16 barrels. And some other tanks with deadly barrels. Might be a remnant of the Wutai War too. And here's some sort of chopper. Maybe it's a Shinra chopper, maybe it's another one. Who knows? And here we can also see parts of a new mansion or building. But we'll come to that in a bit. Just try to remember those serpents and this golden serpent statue here. Here I've showed you this before when comparing Leslie Kyle's location. There's not much to be gleaned here other than another view on the central pillar and the bottom of the plates with the green light shining through the gaps between the plates, and a better view on the side building here. Might even be the side building where we have to battle Scotch and his lackeys when Cloud doesn't get chosen for the Dawn. But yeah, that's about it. Now comes something very interesting, the Corneo Coliseum. However, we'll be jumping into battle in the next part of this rough analysis. We decided to release shorter but more frequent videos, so please look forward to the new battle arena, more wall market, and the Sector 7 slums. Have we missed anything you spotted? What do you think about those new and fleshed out wall markets characters, Barret's Lifesaver Ability, and the enemy skill materia? Let us know by leaving a comment or starting a discussion on our Discord server. Link below. Again, huge thanks to Master supporter Dachdegger for helping with the analysis. If you really liked this content and want to see this channel grow and turn me into a full-time analyst, please check out the support CCO section in the description down below and toss us some gil, like David Geiger did on Patreon. We're eternally grateful for your generous support. That being said, thank you so much for attending this rough analysis of those screenshots, and I hope to see you again in part 2. And always remember, stay safe and take care. Mizuesat signing off.